Hey y'all, this is Kim with Creative Escapades, and today I'm not painting and I'm not baking either, even though it looks like I am. I have all these tools here, but I had a friend that requested some bath bombs, and the fragrance that she wanted didn't have any made up, so I am going to make them for her, and I'm going to show you how I do it. These are the tools that I use, are some of them. And this bowl is just absolutely fantastic. I got this at Sam's. It's a very, very deep stainless steel bowl. I only use these tools for my bath bombs. And these two little condiment glass bowls is what I use to mold my bath bombs. I have all different kinds of molds, different shapes that you could imagine, but these right here are the most perfect, and they make the best bath bombs, so that's what we're going to do. And I've already oiled them with just a little bit of oil and then wipe them out. You don't want a lot of oil in there, but you need a little bit. I'm going to be wearing gloves, and I'm also going to be wearing my respirator because of the powder, and you will see that when I start mixing. I don't want to breathe it in. So I get this baking soda at Sam's, and that is going to be my first ingredient. And yes, I do have a recipe. I have several recipes, in fact, but today we're doing this. I'm going to use this cornstarch that I also get from Sam's in this bulk packaging. I'm going to use coconut oil, and you don't have to use this particular brand. You can use any brand you want. And with that coconut oil, I'm also going to be adding some sweet almond oil as well. And I get this from Nature's Oils online. And also going to be adding the fragrance oil from Nature's Oil. And she had asked for Jasmine, so I am going to be using that fragrance. And those from Nature's Oils are some of the best. So we're going to get all our ingredients measured out and put in this bowl and start mixing it up. So without further ado, here we go. The first thing I'm going to put in here is 1 cup of this baking soda. And I'm making sure that it is packed down into my measuring cup. I want to get a full cup. So just give me a minute and I'll show you. There we go. So we're going to put that in first. And then next we will add the cornstarch. Same thing with this. I am going to use a 1/2 cup of the cornstarch, and I want to make sure that it is packed firmly into my measuring cup. And I'm just pressing it down. I'm sorry I'm off camera, but I am working in an unusual area because all my other work area is full of paintings. So there's my 1/2 cup of the cornstarch. And then we're going to be using Epsom salt. I also get this big bag at Sam's. And I'm going to be using 3 tablespoons of the Epsom salt. And I'm going to be putting the Epsom salt into this bowl because it is kind of lumpy. And you want to break those lumps up before you add it to your other ingredients. So I'm just using the measuring spoon and stirring the Epsom salts around, and when I find a lump, I'm using the spoon to crush it. And then when I have it all crushed up, we're going to pour it into the other ingredients. And then we're going to add our citric acid. And this, I have a 50-pound bag of this, so it's much too big for me to pick it up. And this is the stuff that actually makes the bath bomb fizz. and it's safe to use in your bath bomb. But when you have it in this powder form, it tickles your nose. So that's why I want to wear the mask here. And besides that, we don't need to be breathing in the powders. Once I start mixing it, you may even see it when it starts floating up out of the bowl, and it's just not probably a good thing to breathe it in. Okay, I have my mask on and I'm ready to start mixing these ingredients together. And the first thing you're going to do is break up any lumps you see. I find that this whisk is really, really handy to take care of that, but it also does allow the powder to float. So just keep stirring until that you no longer see any lumps, and it does look like everything is incorporated together. And right about here, the powder is starting to float up out of the bowl a little bit. So trying not to stir it too big. And I'm letting this video pretty much play out as I did it because I want you to see each step and how it's done. And I think we're ready now to add our oils. So first thing I'm going to do is just pull all this back down together off the sides and make a little pile in the very bottom of the bowl. And then I'm going to make a little bitty pocket right here. So that I can pour in the mixture of the coconut and almond oils. I'm going to just pour it right here where I made the little indention. And if I didn't mention it earlier, this is a 1/3 cup. And I filled it about 2/3 of the way of the coconut oil and then filled it the rest of the way with the almond oil. So now it's time to add the fragrance oil. And this particular canister has the lid, and then it also has a plug that fits down into the opening of the flask there. And this is 2 reasons. It's to help your oil from leaking out if the bottle was to accidentally get tipped over. And it is also to help retain the fragrance so that it doesn't evaporate out. So I'm going to use 3 full pipettes of the fragrance oil. And this is making the whole room smell delicious. If you like the fragrance of jasmine, this is a fantastic oil to use. And we're ready to mix. So I'm just going to take my hands and start moving the powder into the oil and just keep stirring it around. And then as the powder starts to look a little clumpy, I'm going to rub it through my hands to make sure that all the ingredients are mixed thoroughly with the oils. Don't want any dry powder anywhere. And as you mix it, you will notice that it is getting to a stage where it will compact easily. And you just keep moving it around until you're sure that you have no dry powder and that you have no little pockets of oil trapped in little lumps. And then when it gets like this, you know you're ready to mold it. So we got our little condiment bowls, and they're already oiled. So we're going to fill them full and pack them down. And the reason why you want to make sure that they're packed and they're good is so that they will mold together and be firm. And then as they dry, they won't crumble apart. So once I have them compacted together really good, I start twisting one of the bowls until it comes off. And you will feel it turn loose of the bath bomb. And then the other one, I'm just going to tap it a little bit with the other bowl, and then it pops off as well. And there you have the perfect bath bomb. We're going to do it again. Fill and compact. Press it together. Remove all the excess from around the edges, and then just start twisting the bowl. And one of them is going to move freely, just like that. The other one will not. And then just tap it a little bit, and I lift the edge of the bowl with my thumb. And you can also hear when you're tapping it, when it actually does turn loose of the bath bomb. It sounds a little bit different. And there it is. Another perfect one. So, I know that I'm not going to have enough here to make another bath bomb. But I'm going to go ahead and fill this up. And then I'm going to mix up another batch, just like I did. Get as much of it out as you can. And then we're just going to start over. And we're going to do the same ingredients, same amount again. Now, I could have doubled the recipe, but I have found that it just works better to do one recipe at a time. So I'm not going to put you through the whole mixing of the ingredients. It was done exactly the same way as the first batch. But I did want to show you a little bit of a close-up better of how to unmold the bath bomb. So I'm twisting it around, making sure that the bowls are even. Gently take that one off. And then right here, when I go to take the top one off, I'm pushing my thumb gently against the edge of the bowl as I tap it with the other one. And that's how you release the second bowl. And now I want to show you what happens if you just lightly fill up each of the bowls, thinking that maybe you can save some of the material or make an extra bath bomb. But I'm filling it up and I'm not pressing it together. But it looks like there's plenty there. But when you press it into each other, the two halves, it doesn't mold well. And you end up with either it falling apart while you're trying to mold it, or when it goes and becomes drier, it will just powder away and it won't hold the form of the bath bomb. So it is important that you make sure that you have compacted it well. Meeting the edges all the way around and twist and lift. And then just press your thumb against the edge of the bowl. Tap gently and lift. And there you have it. And you might be thinking that that's a lot of handwork when using these little condiment bowls, but I even have a bath bomb press with the bath bomb molds, and to me it's much harder using that thing than it is doing this. Twist, lift, and tap. And there it is. So I know I don't have enough powder left here to make another bath bomb. I'm going to show you. There's just not enough here. So what do you do when you have this left over? I have an answer for that. I have this little cupcake measuring cup. This is actually something that you can use to, when you're making cupcakes, the white part is actually your standard amount of cake mix that you would use for a regular cupcake. The top of it is to measure out your cake mix for miniature cupcakes. So you do the same process with this. You just put a little bit of oil in there and then wipe out the excess, because you just want it to be oiled just enough to release your bath bomb, but not to cause it to cling to the edges of your mold. Oil both parts the same way. Wipe out the excess. And then you just fill up each half. Same way you do the glass molds, you compact it in there. And then heap it up. The only thing with this is that it does have that little lip there, so you have to kind of swipe that off a little bit. And then fill this one the same way. Pack it in there tight. And then press them together. You can give it a little twist to make sure that they are compacted together and that they will hold. And then with this one, I tap the top and it comes right off. Perfectly rounded top there. Turn it over, tap the bottom, and there you have a cute little cupcake bath bomb. And again, I don't have enough to make another one of this size, so what do? Well, I have an answer for that too. I'm going to fill this one up. Pack it in there. Gather up all the loose powder. And then use the top to a second cupcake mold. Make sure you oil it and wipe out the excess. And then you're just going to pack it in here. You also could leave this in a powder form and put it in a little jar and then just sprinkle out into your bath water as much as you want. But I think these little bath bombs are cute. And just press them together. Wipe off the edges. Give it a little twist. It's a little bit harder to twist because it doesn't have a groove to actually set down into, but you can do it. And then tap the top. And I'm pushing gently with my thumb on the edge of the top mold. So there's that side. Turn it over, tap it again, and there's that side. And you have a perfect little round, small bath bomb. And that's how you do it. So let me get degloved here, and I'm going to take the camera down, and first I want to show you this bag of the citric acid. This is the 50-pound bag I bought. You can buy it in smaller amounts, but it's more cost effective to buy it in a 50-pound bag, and it does last for a long time. So here are the completed bath bombs, and I'm going to let them sit here and dry for a few days before I package them up and ship them off. But I hope y'all have enjoyed this video. I hope you have found it informative. And if you will click like and share, it will help my channel grow, and I do appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. Ring the bell next to the notification buttons, and you'll get notified when I upload future videos. And I hope to see you in my next creative escapade. Bye-bye.